Warning: the following live broadcast may contain loud, obnoxious, shrill, and alarming noises that might be considered disturbing, if not right uncomfortable to listen to, especially if you are wearing headphones. And I am not talking about me talking, you cheeky monkeys. I share my office space with an African gray parrot and two parakeets, and I have no control over their behavior while I am live streaming. Unlike my regular videos, where I have the opportunity to edit them out as best as I can. If you are sensitive to loud, surprising background noises, I recommend either not turning your volume up too loud or watching my edited pre recorded videos instead. Hopefully, yeah, I just cleaned out the cage too, so he has all brand new boxes and paper, so he might be a little bit more excitable uh, this time around because, he has all these fresh boxes to chew on, but that's besides the point. Viewer discretion is advised. Oh, goodness. Oh, where's my thing here? Oh, here we go. It's like no matter how far in advance I think I have everything set up, it never starts off the way I want to. The setup, the layout never works the way I want. But whatever. So welcome everybody to another um episode of the live stream of my draw stream. So thank you so much for everyone that's watching right now. Trying a couple of new things. What happens? Usually I have a direct link to Facebook. That usually I'm streaming directly to Facebook, but StreamYard kind of changed a couple of things and made it a little bit more obnoxious. So if you're used to watching this on Facebook, yeah, just follow the link over to YouTube. I do have a post on my page that has a link directly to the YouTube page. Um, it's just we're just gonna have to deal with a couple of things right now. Although today I am, instead of streaming directly to Facebook, I am streaming to Twitter for the first time. So thank you everybody who is joining me from Twitter. Um, I hope I can entertain you at least for the next 2 hours. So yeah, so a couple of little things going on here and there. Like I said, if you're used to watching this on Facebook, yeah, just follow the link to YouTube because, like I said, it's like Streamyard is doing some odd things that I don't like, and yeah, like something about making events or something, and then nobody can find the post until after the stream is over, and it's like I'm not dealing with that. So yeah, so that's where I'm at right now. So hello everyone. My name is Daphne Lage, and I'm a cartoonist, illustrator, and comic book artist from New York. And yeah, and because I have these, it's like there's always something new going on. So hold on, let me just adjust this here. Okay, yeah, you know what, it's like, okay, I'm just gonna have to deal with how I have everything set up right now. It's like I just wanted to make sure I'm not accidentally muted or anything. Oh, there. Hello. Yes. 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 He does. Actually, luckily, he runs around the room while I'm doing that. So the trick is to keep an eye on him so he's not pooping on stuff that he's not supposed to be pooping on. So, And hello, Okia Fern. Hello. Welcome. Welcome. So where was I? Oh yes, I was introducing myself. Like I said, I'm Daphne. I'm a cartoonist, illustrator, comic book artist from New York, publishing independent comics since 1992. So I kind of sort of know what I'm talking about. Maybe. I am known for the furry animal fantasy adventure Tall Tales and my medieval fantasy soap opera drama EGORAVEN, Heir of the First Unicorn. The body's not even cold yet, and already I am talking about the pre-launch page for issue 5 coming up in November. So links are going to be in the show notes below. But we are definitely going to be talking about this a little bit in a little bit, because this is all I pretty much talk about nowadays, because that's what happens. Oh, there we go, my border. I really wish Streamyard would. You don't need me. You don't need to hear me bitching about Streamyard. The little. You don't need me. It's like, so. I am also co-host with Nita Lanning on the Rage Into the Vlogs show on every Monday and Friday on the Indie Comics Network. I forgot that I had updated that information. Yes, so you can catch us every Monday and Friday at 11 a.m. Although this Friday we will not have a show because I have an appointment to take care of. So yeah, so no show, but we will be back Monday at 11 a.m. normally. Normally with the show. It's a hour-long vlog-ish show where we have interviews sometimes and whatnot. So you can read my borders. I really gotta. Okay. You can read both my comics online at Tall Tales, TAILS online.com, and egoworks.com, EGOWRKS, where you can check out all my videos on how I make my comics here on YouTube at my channel at Daphne Lage, Lager, which also simulcasts through the Indie Comics Network. So, like I said, if you are watching me from regions beyond, if you are watching me from Facebook, which I am not directly streaming to, but you follow the yeah, come on over to YouTube. Click on the link, click on the like and share button, click on the notification bell so you get notified every time I go live. Anytime any of our shows through the Indie Comics Network goes live. So yeah, so it's a lot easier, I mean, really. It's like I said, I don't know what's going on with the whole Facebook thing. So if you're used to watching this on Facebook, I apologize. But really, you need to be on YouTube. It's a lot easier. It's a lot easier for everybody, Yes, it's just Friday. Don't worry about it. It's just Friday. Yeah, because it's like, I don't, it's like, look, I don't believe in, well, it's like, not that I don't believe, it's just that, I don't have the time to do like pre-recorded shows and then worry, it's like, look, if I can't do a show, we just don't do the show. It's like, look, everybody, there's plenty of other things on YouTube for everybody to watch. So, like I said, don't worry, we'll be back on Monday. And we'll be back to our normal schedule. It's just like, I have things to do. So and Friday was the only day I could do it. So no show. Yes. Unfortunately for us, the appointment has nothing to do with New York Comic Con. So but the thing is, though, yeah, unfortunately, I had found out that New York Comic Con was this week because I learned this morning that, what was that artist? Kim G? I forgot. I forgot his. Oh, what was his name? I mean, it's like, really, maybe I should have decided. So there was a very popular artist that passed this morning, and it was just like he was getting on a plane in France, and he had a heart attack at the airport. Hold on, it's like right, yeah, no, it's like. Yes, we have lives. It's not like we're getting paid for this shit. So if we need to skip a show, we're going to skip a show. So, I mean, it's not. But now it's going to bother me that I don't know this artist's name. Hold on, because now I'm feeling like such an asshole about to talk about him, and I don't know his name. So, or at least not from memory. Yeah, Jung Ji Kim. Junggi Kim. He was especially noted for his crowd scenes and the fact that he could draw. I'm sure you've all seen videos. You can find videos of him drawing on YouTube, where he's literally drawing these really, really intricate crowd scenes on a blank canvas. Like, because I guess he has, yes, thank you, yes. Um, yeah, where like he doesn't do like construction lines or anything. He just draws straight. And he said that he credits as having a photographic memory for his ability to do that. And what happened was that he was finishing up his European tour. He was going to, because he lives in France, and he was at it. I guess he was at an airport in Paris, and he was about to get on a plane to come to New York Comic Con, where he's a guest and whatnot, and he had a heart attack at the airport, and they took him to the hospital where he died at the hospital. And I was just like going, oh, like two things. Like, it's like, oh wait, it's like, oh, New York Comic Con was this weekend, and I go, wait a minute, wait, this guy just died. The fuck? And I was like, that's crazy. So he's like, he was 47. I mean, really, it's like it just goes to remind you, all our names are in the ledger, and when it's time, it's time. I mean, yeah, for real. I mean, that's all we can hope for. That's all we can hope for. Like, I think, like, Kubert, Joe Kubert, he died at his drawing table. Gil Evergreen, he died like he was literally in the middle of a painting. And I mean, really, it's like that's all we can hope for, really. Like I said, all our names are in the ledger. It's just, that's why it's like it's just so important that we're not wasting our time, really. Yeah, so what else is going on? Yeah, so as the title of my, I guess I'm decided trying to figure out, like, trying to think of my themes in advance. And pretty much, like I said, EGORAVEN is, oh, here we are. There we go. Tall Tales doesn't come back until January, so don't worry. So if you're waiting for Tall Tales, don't worry about January. The early 2023, Tall Tales is coming back to Kickstarter. But for now, I am an absolute slut for my unicorn girl. So yes, she is. So EGORAVEN issue 5 is coming back to Kickstarter on November 7th. And and it's in pre-launch now. All the links are in the show notes. And so it's like I'm in this really middle quiet stage where everything is at the printers. Everything is being manufactured. I mean, it's like all I could do is just fold up some boxes to try to feel like I'm moving along when there's nothing going on. And that's, yeah. So it's like it's just like this kind of like this weird blank period where there's absolutely nothing going on with the Kickstarter. There's nothing I can do, and and I'm just trying to like navigate this very strange period before the books come in, and then it's like all hands on deck. But speaking of crowdfunding, I do have some links in the I do have some links in the chat and also in the show notes of crowdfunders that I am looking forward to, that I'm enjoying, that I've pledged to, or that I just want to like help spread the word about. The first crowdfunder that I want to talk about is Visenia Lindsay's Pulse-tober art book. She has her own book called Celestial Pulse, and honestly, it's like it's like I can't wait until that Kickstarter comes out when she decides to put out Celestial Pulse as a trade, which she did say was going to happen. But for now, she has this art book where she has her mascot character Pulsey, kind of like cosplaying as like DC and Marvel characters. And what was cool was that I happened to pledge during her live stream, which, by the way, she's streaming on Twitch, and it's a 4-hour stream. So if you're into that, you can watch her on a 4-hour stream doing what she's calling Pulse-tober. and she's actually doing doing Pulsey cosplaying as EGORAVEN as a thank you for her thank you page in the book. So I'm really looking forward to seeing that. So check out the Pulstober art book. It's a lot of it looks like a lot of fun. Her artwork is just, it's just I just, like, it's one of those love at first sight things. And like I said, she has a book called Celestial Pulse, which is kind of like a shoujo type. It's like, look, it just look. You can read the first two issues for free on her website, and it just pushes all my buttons. She has a Highlander, she has a vampire, and she has the girl that they're both kind of like sworn to protect, but they themselves are rivals. It's like thank you. It's like that's what I want. That's what I want. More of that. So there we go. So Pulstober art book number 2. Check that out. The next campaign is Bloodwing Angel, the Bloodwing Angel Chronicles by John Celestri, animation legend. If you saw the Star Wars Christmas special, the Boba Fett section, that was his. So that was his. So that's his claim to fame, along with the rest of your childhood in the 80s. So if you had a childhood in the 80s, John Celestri was responsible for it. So so he has his book Bloodwing Angel Chronicles, books 1, 2, and 3, which I am very happy to finally get a chance to. I had supported it in the past, but I lost the books because of a flood in my office. So I'm just very happy for the opportunity to replace them so I could actually read them. It was such a mess. I had a whole box full of like crowdfunding books that I was meant to read and whatnot. And I was like, wait, what's that smell? And it's all like pull the box out. It's just all rotting paper. It was just like, it was horrible. So, but the flooding is fixed now, so we don't have that problem. But still, though, now everything is in a plastic bin if it even touches the floor. So we're not having that trouble again. So yes, Bloodwing Angel Chronicles. Also, and like I said, all the links are in the show notes below. The next one is Snowball, Rob Multari's Snowball. The second issue. It's like, honestly, I'm waiting for the trade paperback to come out. Ever since I had the Office redone, literally trade paperbacks are kind of like the only thing that I can like fit in here right now. I don't have like everything, all space is like mostly saved for inventory. But you know what? Just because it's like, look, but you know what? Just because I have to wait for a trade paperback for this, or doesn't mean that you have to. So Snowball 1 to 2, Scottish, like it says there, 19th century Scottish female werewolves, like Viking werewolves again, pushing my buttons. Viking, where everyone's a werewolf, and there's a Viking werewolf. There we go. That's all you need to know. And just go to the link and support it. And congratulations, Rob Multari, for another absolutely successful Kickstarter right now. And last but not least, there's an Alien in My Toilet, book 3. So this is a Sam Vera's book. Book 3. Well, and this is the next chapter in the Duty from Uranus series. Yes, judging from the title, yes, it is an all ages sci-fi story where he takes the funniest kids joke and turns it into a comic, because of course you have to. So there's an Alien in My Toilet, book 3. I think it has 14 days left to go. It's very close to funding. This is the next chapter, and he also has another book on there in the campaign where it's a Duty on Planet Cthulhu. So actually he has 3 books of these campaigns depending on the age range of he's running a little like mini scholastic book fair on his Kickstarter right now. So it's like he has all the age ranges. So you have the all ages. There's an Alien in My Toilet. He says that it was like he said on a previous campaign, if you're like have a kid from 7 and up, that's good for them. Then he has Duty on Planet Cthulhu, which I think is a little bit more like the kids are in high school. And then it's like if you want something for like if you have younger kids in your family, he even has Duty's Adventures, where it's kind of like a story and a workbook where the kids can like draw their own characters and write their own ending to the story. It's very clever. So make sure you check that out. There's Alien in My Toilet, Book 3, I Chihuahua. So like I said, all the links are in the show notes below. If everyone is a werewolf, would the term werewolf if it even exists? Yeah, I would think by then it would just be, everyone's a furry. I think that's the case anyway. But I think it's just the idea that everyone can, change into, it's people, and then that it's like I think the term werewolf would exist. It's just that it wouldn't be that big of a deal. So, hello, Nicholas. Hello. There you go. Oh, I mean, it's like waking up at bedhead. It's just how you look at a given time, not like you've really changed. Well, that's true. It depends on how you look at it. But I mean, I think the term werewolf would still probably exist because technically they're not human, right? So, but yeah, that's what that is, I guess. But like I said, but again, check out all the links in the show notes below. So yeah, so that's what. Oh yes. Well, enjoy. I don't know if enjoying, hey Nicholas. I don't think enjoying, is the right word here. So, so yeah, so that's what's kind of. I guess that's what my housekeeping. I guess that's going on right now. But yeah, so like I said, I'm in kind of like this weird middle period where everything's at the printers. There's nothing I can do, in terms of this campaign that finished. So, so I'm trying to stay busy. I have my pile of inking that I'm still going through. Um, oh, let me show you a couple of things. So on the last episode, last couple of episodes, I was working on some sketch covers for the Oswald Chronicles, and I was doing Hieronymus Bosch theme on all of the covers. So here I was able to finally finish 2 of them completely. So I was able to color them and whatnot. So I just wanted to show everybody. So this is the first one. This is the first completed sketch cover that I finished. So it's like, yeah, so it's like the weird thumbtack guy. So it's like I said, if you're not familiar with the reference, just look up Hieronymus Bosch, The Garden of Earthly Delights. Go all the way to the right side panel, the darker one, where I think it's supposed to represent hell or something, and all the crazy monsters that I reference are in that panel, in that painting. So this is the first one that I did. And then the second one that I was able to finish, this is it right here. So there we go. And of course, I had to do a little Looney Tunes reference to, I think it's like, it was the Marvin the Martian, when he puts his little flag on the earth and it has a little screwball on it. So I figured it was just perfect for a Hieronymus Bosch monster to have the same thing. So yeah, so that's the second cover that I finished. So at least that's one person I'm able to cross off the list as they're getting their very late Oswald package. From it's like JD has already finished another campaign. In the time it's taking me to do these sketch covers. I mean, this particular batch is just taking me a lot longer than it usually does. But but I just have like so much to do, and it's just like sometimes it's just so hard to pace myself. So yeah. Oh, so speaking of not really being able to do much. Like I said, I'm waiting for everything to come back to the printers. But in the meantime, I had gotten a couple of things already. I don't remember if I showed these to you on the last on the last show, but I'm going to show them really quickly again. So these are some of the stretch goals that we were able to unlock on the last campaign. So this is the bookmark that that we were able to unlock on the campaign. So that's in. Here is the first art print, 4x6 art print that we also unlocked as well. It's just a postcard as well. I like, it's a nice thick paper, so it's I think I got 16 point. Yeah, so that's the first one. And then this is the second stretch goal print that everyone who did a physical order is going to get. So that's, again, it's another art print / postcard that we unlocked. And also, just for shits and giggles, this is the promo. This is this campaign's promo postcard. Everybody that everyone again who got a physical order, they're going to get this as well. It's the full cover of the trade paperback, and just with information for the next campaign coming up. See, November 7th. November 7th is the magic number, I guess. So yeah, so those, so those came in within days of me ordering it. Let's see. Oh, draw for fun. Well, you see, I don't know if that's really accurate either, because it's like, especially when it comes to EGORAVEN, it's kind of like both. Like I have to get all this stuff done, but it's like when I start working on it, it's like I get so in the zone that it's like it's the answer is yes, no, yes and no. But I guess that's the beauty of being able to work, to like work on my own stuff, that whole thing, do what you love and you never work a day in your life. Well, no, you're working every goddamn minute of your day, but at least you're working on something that's yours. And it's like I'm literally working on something that's mine and mine alone, and my effort is my own. And it's like, I like I said, I am so in the zone, with drawing stuff for EGORAVEN, that it's like, yeah, I guess you could say I am having fun with it, but it's still work. Okay. So well, we can let's see. Yeah. Yes. Yes, exactly. We all love that Bosch, the weird dude. Yes, we do. Yes, the nerd burb. Yes, definitely. That's what he is with his little screwball flag. That's he is. Let's see. You're patriotic for a lot of countries today. Please help me. I can only recommend getting a map. That's all I can say. That's all I can say. I don't know. There's a lot of things going on in the world. Just get a map to keep track of it. That's all I can suggest, really. So yeah, so that's the thing. So that's kind of what I have really quick so far. So what I'm gonna do is, because I know that you guys are all here to watch me draw and stuff, and not to babble away on stuff. Yeah, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna switch over to the next. I'm gonna switch over to, let's see, to my other screen. Actually, I'm gonna do this. Let's see, how did I do that? Okay, so there we go. So this is what I have on the drawing table today. So what it is like I did like a stack of pages and images that I'm getting through. And what I did was I just laid down the initial inks on it, and then get a little pile going. And then now it's like I'm going to finish up the inks so that I can send I can start feeding my flatter work. The thing is, though, this is technically a future me problem image. But you know what? It's like I really, it's like whatever. It's in the pile. I want to be able to to just finally finish this piece and send it out so that I can get it flatted, and then I could just put it to the side, and then when I really need to get to it, I don't have to worry about anything else but just actually color correcting and then putting in the shading. Oh, well, I mean, we might get to one anyway, so, but thank you though. So this is the wraparound cover to my novel, which comes after the EGORAVEN comic book series. Because, you know, if you're new here and you don't know what I'm talking about, EGORAVEN Air the First Unicorn is my main comic book series. It's 15 issues. We're currently up to issue 5 in terms of Kickstarters. Again, that's going to be launching on November 7th. Actually, let me put my little reminder down here. So with these, so the series is going to be, the comic book series is going to be 15 issues, but pretty much everything else, like all the stories that come out after that, they're going to be illustrated novels. And this is the first one after that issue. After the 15 issues that's coming out. I kind of wrecked my schedule these past couple of months because the novel was screaming at me to work on it, which I did. I have the first draft done, and being the type of person that I am and how much I'm just obsessed with the story right now, I did this cover for the trade, for it's not a trade paperback, but for the novel book. And just to have it, you know, just to get it out of my system and have it. So I'm going to be inking the rest of this today. It's actually not finished. You're going to notice a difference when I finish it. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I know it's pretty epic. You know, I'm very happy. I'm very happy with the way this worked out. And I hope that everybody who reads the novel kind of gets that sense in the book. So here's the thing, though. Before I get started, though, I wanted to show everybody something because, you know, like I said, I'm just like completely obsessed. Like I've finished the first draft. It's over 200 pages, 67,000 words, the whole 9 yards, right? And the thing is, though, it's like now Nita is beta reading. She's the first beta reader for the book. So you know, so thank you, Nicholas. Thank you. I try. It's all, you know, it's just pushing forward. I want to see a fucking AI do this. That's all I can say. Actually, no, I don't want to see an AI do this. You know, it's like, you know. So Nita is going to do the first pass on it. And then I'm going to start really, you know, editing it. But like right now, it's kind of like I'm just in this, like, you know, just getting this. I'm in, again, this kind of weird phase where it's like I'm obsessed with the book, but there's really nothing I can do about it right now. So I figure I might as well just work on the cover. But here's the funny thing, though. So I keep reading that first draft over and over and over again. You know, and it's like, and I have a ton of edits that I have in my head. It's like, I should do this, should that, but I don't want to touch anything until after Nita gets back to me. No pressure, girl. No pressure. You know, so so the funny thing is that I was reading it in Acrobat because I made a PDF of it so I could have it on my phone and whatnot. You know, and you know, and so I'm reading it in Acrobat. I'm trying to find something in the menus. I don't know, and then I find a read out loud version, a read out loud option in Adobe Acrobat. So I don't know if this is in the free version, but I know in the CS version, the CC version that I have, it has a read out loud version. So I guess it could read. So I have this thing reading the novel while I'm working. I have this thing reading the novel to me. And it's awful. It is absolutely awful. Not the book, but the fact that it uses like a standard AI to read it. And the way it trips over words is hysterical. But at the same time, I'm catching a lot of typos this way because you type in like a lot of you type the same word over and over again, so I get used to it hearing it. Okay, the AI is saying it this way, and then all of a sudden it says it differently, and I go, there's a typo there. It's like I go to look, there's a typo. So it's actually kind of weirdly helpful. So it's awful, but at the same time, I'm obsessed with this thing. It's kind of like it's a really bad audiobook version. I mean, it's just but it's actually I'm actually finding it helpful and actually somewhat entertaining. I actually want to see if I can get you guys to hear it. So before we get started, so let me see if I can just bring it up. Um, oh, and which also means that technically you guys are going to get a sneak peek at this first draft. So, so just remember, it's a first draft. It's a first draft, and yeah, let me see if I can. Let me see full screen layout. So, let me see what I got here. Let me see. Yeah, because it's like I guess it's like. Okay, there we go. Okay, I think we got it. Oh, no. And here and all right, so you're all getting kind of like a okay, so where is it? Okay, I don't want it on the full screen mode. Where is it? Add to stream. Okay. Okay, so this is like a sneak peek of the first draft. So what page is that? I can't tell on the screen. This is page 99. I think it's on 98 on my end. So let me see if I can get this. I'm hoping that okay, let me see if I can get this to do this, if you can hear this. Tell me if you can hear this. Can you guys hear that? Somebody tell me if you could hear this. Oh no, you can't hear it? You can't hear it? Okay, all right. So okay, you can't hear it? Oh, that's a shame. That's a shame. I guess it's not like a website. I guess it's not a website or something. StreamYard can't. Let me try something. Let me try because this thing is. I really want you to hear this shit. Hold on, hold on. It is so. Just so you guys get a sense. Okay, so what it is like I'm removing you out of my headphones. So it's going to come out of my speaker and you should be able to hear it through the microphone. So let's try this now. Let's try this now. It's awful. I want you guys to experience how awful this reading is.
EGORAVEN, Cult of the Wolf Witch, Tribes, and Family. The stag grazed, unaware of the wolf that stalked it. As the Uighs were pushed deeper into the forest, the Canavar extended their barrier around the manor, claiming back more of the woods. Taking advantage of the extended range, the lone wolf decided on a hunt that had nothing to do with the cursed men they fought so long and hard against. Crouching low, the dusky wolf prepared his arrow on the bowstring but was not quite ready to make his kill. He crept around the trees, his heavy paws unusually silent with his cloak making more noise as it dragged through the foliage. His ears pointed forward in full attention. He raised his bow, squinting his eye to ensure his aim was true. He flared his nostrils, picking up the heavy musk of the stag and a faint hint of roses. His muscles relaxed as he mentally gave up his opportunity for a clear shot but didn't lower his weapon just yet. It is unbecoming of an emissary to be sneaking around people, he spoke while still keeping his eye on his target. The rustling behind him was enough to catch the animal's attention, and he cursed to himself as it bounded away. However, it was not in the full panic he was afraid of, but enough to know that its current grazing was not completely safe. The wolf let out a deep breath, at least thankful a full chase would not be necessary. He lowered his bow and sighed, turning his gaze to the unicorn woman standing hesitantly behind him. "I'm sorry I frightened your quarry," EGORAVEN replied. The wolf put his arrow back in the quiver. "Luckily, you didn't frighten it, just spooked it enough to move." EGORAVEN, cult of the wolf witch.
Hold on. I mean, really, right? I mean, I mean, is that like the most hideous voiceover you've ever heard? I mean, it's just, yeah, it's like, and the fact that, and here's the thing too, it only says EGORAVEN's name correctly if it has an apostrophe S at the end of it. You know? I mean, that's the funniest thing. It says EGORAVEN up until the point there's an apostrophe S, and then the dumb thing says EGORAVEN. And I go, you know what? Maybe I wouldn't hate it so much if it said EGORAVEN correctly the entire time. But no, it pronounces it EGORAVEN until there's an apostrophe S. It is horrible. But at the same time, it's like, it's like I said, I'm catching a lot of spelling mistakes this way, and you know, it's like, let's see here. Yes, it is awful. It is awful. Um, it comes. It's just a thing. It's just an option in Adobe Acrobat, or at least in the cloud version that I use, because it comes with the Adobe subscription. You just, what is it? You have to go. You go under. Let's see. View. You go under the view option, and it's read out loud, and that's exactly what it's doing. It is reading out loud. Um, Hold on. Let me put you guys back in my ear. Hold on. Okay, there we go. Okay. And yeah, you'd think with all the improvement in deepfake tech that people would figure out how to make simple, more human-sounding computer voices. Yeah, you would think, right? Especially Adobe. But oh my God, it is so bad. It's even worse on the phone. Holy crap! I tried doing it so I could listen to it on my phone, and I had to tap out on that. The AI on the phone is even worse than the AI they use in Adobe. Oh my God. It is so, now mind you, Nina, I've already had the AI read a couple of scenes, very specific scenes, and it's horrible. It really is. It is so flat. I mean, talk about a mood killer. Talk about a mood killer. Um, yeah, it's like I said, it's in. I don't know if it's in the free version of Adobe, but in Adobe Acrobat, but it's in my. That's, yeah. So I came across that accidentally. Um, yeah, I know. It's just really funny how it will, like, it. Yeah, it just, there's a reason why it's like I have a setup upstairs specifically to do voiceovers, so I can do voiceovers. You know, because I am planning on translating, um, well, kind of, kind of like doing audiobook versions of my prose. This, and this is going to be one of them. And yeah, I have a whole setup for that, so I can read it and get the inflection, and and whatever. And yeah, but this is extremely utilitarian, that's for sure. Yes, gloriously painful. Um, oh my God, no! You know what? Don't put that out in the universe. Yes, yes, Nita. It's like, because I'm having it read through the entire book. So it's, yeah, like I said, it's awful and fascinating at the same time. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what it is. Like they never changed it from the 80s, you know? But yeah, so that's what I've been entertaining myself with in terms of the novel, and I just wanted to share that with everybody. Um, and let's see. Hold on, hold on. Oh, hold on. I got ooh, I got some people acting up today. What the heck is that? What is that? Block, block, block. Okay, good. All right. According to the okay, so according to this, all right. Okay, good. Oh wow. Okay. I am getting all right, hold on. It's like the chat is getting okay, hold on. I got like some bot shit going on. It's like you see, it's called out the AI reading called out all its brethren. Um, so it's like, hold on. I am getting some crazy ass spam here. Hold on, hold on. Let's see. It's like, yeah. Oh, okay. All right, good. Oh, you got it? Okay. Yeah, because holy crap. It's like all of a sudden it's just like, and it's like, I don't know what the fuck is going on. So okay, so Nita, so while Nita cleans up the mess that's going on right now, maybe you see, maybe use like having the AI on the air just oh, here you okay, so here you are, Nicholas, just making it all yeah, I know. I don't understand it. I don't understand how it's pronouncing, like why it takes an apostrophe S for it to pronounce it correctly. Um, it's like, ooh, it's like, oh, she's not like, yeah, she definitely is not. I mean, that is kind of the gist of the story. Holy moly. Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, it's like, yeah, yes. And Nina says that she's cleaning it up on her end. So, yeah, this is just like, yeah, holy crap. Yeah, it's like, okay, so yeah, this is yeah, so that's just yeah, I know, right? It's like, you put a little AI voice in everything and they all yeah, I know. I know. That's what's going on. Holy crap, the chat is a mess now. So yeah, so you know what? I guess that's my cue to actually start working on this thing. So how about that? So please excuse the mess that's in the chat right now. Nina is currently cleaning it. Um and yeah, and oh my god. Oh hey Marvy. Hey, it's like how I'm able, you know, let's see. Yeah, I mean, wow. Okay, so there we go. You know what? It's like I said, Nita's cleaning that up. So if I don't catch you, it's like, so if for some reason I don't catch you in the chat, it's because we're having a spam bot problem right now. And yeah, so 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 let me just move the camera over here and get this thing started. So as you can see here, I have my basic inks down. Also, you know what? Let me get this started as well, because let me see. Okay, so I just want to, there we go. So that way we can get our music going. I mean, this you guys should be able to hear, right? right? So you guys can hear that, right? Wow, I can't get over the chat right now. You know, the chat is just being absolutely flooded, you know, but you know, it's like, I mean, I think it might be coincidence from the AI, but everybody can at least hear the music, right? Because I mean, this should be working normally. Um, okay, good. Thank you very much. There we go. So, yeah. So these are the initial inks that I put down with my Rapidiograph. So this I use this to get this basic inks down. So now what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to take my larger pens and I'm going to start like beefing up the inks a bit. So okay. So yeah, so there we go. So yeah, so just tell me if it sounds like if the music is louder than I'm talking, because you know I can obviously adjust the sound in my headphones. It's just that I don't know how it's actually sounding on the screen, you know. So okay, so where was I? Yeah, so like I said, I'm in the middle of this weird quiet period between campaigns. I mean, now my original schedule had me running another campaign on in November. It was originally supposed to be Peacekeepers, but I decided I was going to move EGORAVEN up so I could fit one more EGORAVEN campaign in the year. And you know, and now it just feels kind of weird having a pre-launch page for a campaign for the next campaign when this one isn't done yet. You know, I mean, but at the same time, it's like, well, the second that I get my stuff in, I'm going to be able to fulfill. So it's not like, and the other campaign doesn't launch until November 7th anyway. So, you know, what am I really concerned about, right? And you know, and it's like, I guess one of the things that I am concerned about is that I'm kind of like, you know, is it possible for me to overwhelm everybody with too much, like, you know, I'm sure, you know, everyone's heard the phrase campaign fatigue. So, you know, and I'm a little concerned about that. But at the same time, it's like, I kind of hope that my reputation running these campaigns kind of, you know, that people aren't like, oh, you haven't fulfilled yet and you're talking about the next campaign. And it's like, well, one, it's my show, so I can talk about it, right? I should be able to talk about it. But at the same time, it's like, well, I mean, it's just a pre-launch. By the time the actual launch happens, everybody's pledges from the volume 1 campaign, that should either already be in the mail or everybody should be getting them, you know. So you know, yeah, so like in the end, it's like I'm not really sure what I'm really worried about. But of course, you know, one of the things that one of the things that it's like, well, if I can't worry anymore about this campaign, let me fuss with the other campaign, because hold on, let me just check something here. let's see. Okay, yeah, no, okay, I think we're good. It's like, holy shit. It's like every time I look over here in the chat, it's nothing but bots. Like, what the fuck? Fuck Lucy. Whoever the fuck Lucy is, fuck Lucy. But then again, that might be the point of the bots, you know? That is so obnoxious. It's like here I'm trying to have a conversation with everybody, and these bots are like just flooding the chat. But okay, whatever. That's just what it is. Um. So the only thing, of course, that instead of like actually trying to focus on all the work that I have to do, which I still have to do anyway, right? So I started kind of fussing with the next campaign, and it's like, okay, how much stuff can I offer in the campaign to help move it along? I guess like in tandem with how the trade the trade paperback campaign did. Oh, okay, all right, good. So if you're not all right, because on my end I'm saying, so that okay, so like I said, Nita said that she was taking care of that. So probably what it is that it shows up on my end, but then Nita gets on top of it, and then she's clearing it out as so it disappears on YouTube, but I can still see the I guess whatever ends up in the chat on my end. And of course, okay, there we go. So because that's one thing that I'm a little concerned about, is how do I make sure the next campaign keeps up the momentum that I guess the trade paperback kind of inadvertently oh, there we go. Oh, okay. Thank you, Nita. Yes. So yeah, so like I said, Nita's mopping up. We have, so okay. So yeah, so my concern is like, okay, the trade paperback did something I wasn't expecting it to do, and it's kind of like altered my expectations. It's altering my expectations for the next campaign. And the thing is that JD's a little concerned that I might be a little too fussy with the idea, because of course, he doesn't want me to like try to hype myself up or accidentally hype myself up, and then it's like I get disappointed, and then like if the campaign doesn't do as well. Because here's the thing. So the volume the volume 1 campaign, it was a more expensive book. I ended up getting, not only did I end up get my regulars, but I got people who were waiting for the trade. So for all I know, when the 5th issue comes out, all those people are gonna lie low, because they're going to be waiting for the next trade for next year. So I won't see them again until next year. Will that affect the my issue 5 campaign? I don't know. And honestly, I mean, logically, it's really something I shouldn't be concerned with. It's really so. Yeah, so I think that it's like but I can't help but think about it, because it's like, especially when you're looking at other people's campaigns, and it's like, okay, they're doing this, they're doing that, they're doing the other thing, they're making this much money. Can I imitate that somehow? You know, how can, you know, I don't know, maybe the strategy just kind of like starts getting in the way when it's like, you know what, I'm doing the best I can on these campaigns, and sometimes it's best just to you know, leave it at that and then see what happens. I mean, all I can do is just prepare as best as I can, but I have no control over what the outcome of that might be, you know, as much as I'm trying to kind of like predict it. And you know, I mean, yeah, it's I don't know. Yeah, so it's just like kind of like I said, it's a strange transitional period I'm in right now, because I'm waiting for all this stuff to come in. And you know, so it's like yeah, I mean, yeah, so that's kind of like, I'm trying not to freak out about it. But you know, it's kind of tough, especially when pretty much like okay, so like New York Comic Con is this weekend, right? Now we are planning on going to New York Comic Con probably next year. You know, but I guess like just more for, I don't know, the network opportunities or whatnot. But I mean, it's I mean, for me, it's a little hard to justify. The price going to Comic Con is a little hard to justify if the Kickstarters keep growing the way they do. So I don't know. I don't know what my point is right now. Like I said, I guess it's just, yeah, maybe like at what point is it a good idea? Like at what point do you plan too much for a campaign? That's the thing. At what point? And I kind of think I'm hitting that point. The other day I actually did another variant cover for the campaign. So this campaign for issue 5 is going to have 4 variant covers. Oh yeah, yeah. It is. It's extremely crowded. The flow of the Javits Center is really bad. Like I don't understand why it's so difficult. You know, especially, and the way they divide up the sections, like the artist alley and stuff, it's just kind of weird. But then again, the last time I was at New York Comic Con, it was also in the middle of construction at the Javits, so I don't know if it's like any better. So yeah, but yeah, it's let's see. Also, yeah, I stopped. Yeah, because it is expensive. I mean, it's like it was really good in the beginning, and I think what happened, it got taken over by Reed Pop, and then like all the prices shot up. They had this weird thing that if you get a booth, you have to bring your own tables, and it's like such a hassle. Yeah, and that's the thing too. I liked Anime NYC, because also that if you couldn't get in the main show, if you got in the anime section, you at least were downstairs. So they had New York Comic Con on the top floor, and then they had Anime NYC up at the bottom. So it was a lot easier for us to get into the anime show than the main floor, but it worked out really well at the time. There we go. Okay. Just a little shout out to Nita. It's like, yeah, I know, because on my end, on the main screen, I mean, those shits are still coming. So let's see. Yeah, although the ironic thing about it is that I think that the layout, if you're comparing the two shows, I think San Diego Comic-Con is a better show than New York Comic-Con, because I think that they're, in terms of the floor, they're better organized. Like the separations between the segments, like small press and the main, and the large companies, Artist Alley. I kind of liked the way they did that. I liked their usage of zones, but it was still on the same floor. But it was really nice to, it's like you had like these zones that you were in, so yeah, I just like the organization better at San Diego Comic-Con, but it's just, with that, the expense is going there. The expense is, the hotels. You're paying $400 a night for a shitty hotel that on normal days wouldn't get $80. I mean, it's so yeah, so that's like, and then it's like everybody jacks up the prices. It's a very popular area around the convention centers in San Diego. So even though San Diego is easier for us to get into, it's less expensive, the table, but whatever money you make is going into everything else. It's going into hotel, it's going into the airfare, it's going into, it's like the jacked up, like restaurant prices, and then you're talking about shipping your stuff, and then all the hotels are charging to store your stuff, and and then New York Comic-Con, which is just right, literally, right here, very difficult to get into. Like, I'm on the waiting list, i.e., we really want you to pay $1,500 for a booth, not $400 for a table. And it's like, and like I said, the show is not very well laid out. But like I said, I'm basing this on a year where they were doing construction, so maybe it's not really fair for me to make that comparison. So the thing that, on a side note, about the artwork. So the thing that I've been practicing for a while is doing architecture freehand. And this is something that when I started drawing the new pages for EGORAVEN, that I really, really wanted to try to get the hang of, because when I was doing Tall Tales, like, all the backgrounds would be really ruled out and whatnot. Like, everything is very straight line, And when I started to do EGORAVEN, it's like I felt, you know what, I should really try something different, because I was never really happy with how my backgrounds was coming out on Tall Tales. Like, it always felt like a little too ruled. You know what I mean? But it's like, it looked like, it's like everything is a little too straight.
So, so with this, so with EGORAVEN, what I started doing is I started trying to pencil out and then ink out all the backgrounds freehand, because what I wanted was kind of like a more organic look. It's like I wanted my backgrounds to feel more like backgrounds and not like cut out sets, which is how I felt they kind of look like in a lot of places in Tall Tales. And and it was weird experimenting with that, because like I said, everything, my goal was to do everything freehand, to be able to not have to pull out a ruler for everything. And especially with these last couple of pieces that I've been doing, I always make sure to force myself to practice that I have an architectural element somewhere in the piece. Like, whether, like here, it's the manor. On the cover, when I did the volume 1 cover, I made sure that the castle was there. Same thing with the volume 2 cover that I just sent to the Flatters. There's a castle in the background. There's a tower that that figures prominently, in the series. That's on the cover. So it's like in here. So here, this is the manor. That's the center of everything. So it's like I felt it was appropriate, not only to put it on the cover, as, because, as a background element, but also to force myself to kind of still practice that, doing everything freehand. So I'm actually feeling like I'm getting to a point where I feel like that it's like, aha, it's kind of feels like it's beginning to come together. Where it's not looking completely crazy. I know that especially with some early stuff, my freehand backgrounds were looking a little, kind of janky, but I really wanted to push through with that idea. So that's, so I think that I really do feel like I'm at a point where it's kind of beginning to come together. Architecture is not my strong suit. So so it's something that I felt like I had to force myself to do. And of course, the best way to do that is to make sure you incorporate it into everything. If you want to force yourself. Oh well, but that's a given. I mean, that was in San Diego. That was it. Especially that's here. You're gonna pretty much, like, whenever there's a convention, you're gonna get that. Wherever there's a large group of people, that's that. Honestly, I think that's more of a side effect of just being outside. I live in a major city, so look, it's like the second I'm on the train, that's a given. So it's something. Yeah, I wouldn't necessarily call that a con specifically to going to a convention. That's just, I think that's just what it is. Oh, right. But the thing that I was saying is that, so if there's something that you really, really hate doing in your drawing, the best way to get better at it is to force yourself to draw that thing you hate over and over and over again. And You know, and I really, yeah, and like I said, I really do think it's beginning to come together, especially when I'm drawing a page and I'm not afraid of drawing backgrounds anymore. Um, I think that that's a very important tell that the practice is paying off. This is especially true with drawing humans as well. Um, that's also something that I'm noticing after really working on EGORAVEN for the past 2.5 years, that I'm no longer afraid of drawing humans. You know, and I'm actually pretty happy with that. And now I'm getting to a point where I'm not afraid of drawing backgrounds. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that for me it was the same thing too. It was my kryptonite, but you know what? It's like you got to do it. If you really want to push forward with your art, you have to learn how to do these things. You know, I mean, it's like that's the thing. It's like the AI isn't that good. You know, where, I mean, yeah, maybe I could fake some stuff with AI, but it's like, you know what? I would rather learn how to draw it myself so that if I don't have, which I don't have access to that or whatever, that I can still do it. So, which honestly, I think, kind of like going back to the discussion about AI and whatnot, I saw this cartoon the other day where it was one of Sarah Scribbles, where it's like, where this old lady is asking her, how do you become so talented? And she just kept saying, practice, practice, practice. And every time she said practice, the old lady would dismiss it as some kind of like divine thing. It's like, oh, it's a mystery why you're so talented. You will never know, the gods have blessed you, stupid shit like that. Right? It's like, no, it's practice. And then someone had altered the final panel to be the old lady saying, look at this artwork that I've done in AI, by saying that expertise is necessary for art, that's gatekeeping. And then the little art character, the little artist character saying, it's like, I didn't see that coming for like 10,000 miles away. And, and it's like, yeah, it's like people kind of got pissy at it. And I mean, so did I. It's like, it's like I go, it's like there are people out there who really do deserve to have all the shit that they consume done by AI so that they can leave actual creative people alone. And then it's like I really started to think about it. It's like, like, oh, these people. And the only reason he posted this cartoon was because he had seen somebody say that because it's like they were really messing with the keywords in the AI and really had to fuss with the artwork that was coming out, that they felt like an artist. And it's like, no, it's like, but the thing is though, it's like, okay, you know what? Let them say their stupid shit. It's like, let them say their stupid shit, because you know why? Because when the power goes out, when all of a sudden they have no connection to internet, all of a sudden they're not an artist anymore. Because that's the thing. It's like, if they don't have their computer, if they don't have their keywords, if they don't have access to that app, all of a sudden they can't do shit. The lights can go out right now. The power can like go out right now. And I will still be able to do this. Give me a paper, give me a pencil, give me a knife. I will, sharpen the pencil, Yeah, no, we were just talking about, Marvy, we were just talking about him at the beginning of the show. Yeah, it's just really crazy that it was just like, that's like that. It was just like that. Like I said, he was at the airport. He had the heart attack at the airport. They took him to the hospital, and that was it, on the way to New York Comic Con. um you know, oh, but the thing is, though, yeah, so the AI, yeah, so that AI stuff, so it's like, okay, all right, you can feel as much of an artist as you want with the AI, but the second that power goes off, the second that AI, you know, the internet goes off, you're still the nobody that can't do shit, you know? Because like I said, you give me a pencil, a knife, piece of paper, look, I'll be there like a caveman, but I'll still be able to draw. I'll still be able to get my work done, you know? You know, it's, you know, so it, you know, that, you know, so that's why in the end, I'm not concerned about the AI stuff. Um, you know, it's, yeah, it's like, cause you know what? It's like, these are people, these are pretenders. They're always going to be pretenders. And I don't think that they're anything that it's anything to really worry about in terms of artists. I mean, granted, if you're a commercial artist, yeah, you're gonna have a hard time competing with that, but that's a different aspect of it. It still doesn't stop you from being an artist. That's the thing. Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, no, I mean, it's like we are just flooded today. I mean, what's ironic is that I had played an AI reading a page from my novel from the first draft, and like after, you know, and then it's like after oh, okay, yeah, and then after oh, okay, all right, you know what? Okay, there we go. We're not going to do that. We're going to yes. Okay, so we're gonna, yes. We've been having issues, but it's okay. It's okay. We're still working. We're still moving forward. So so yeah, so where was I? Yes. Doing backgrounds freehand. So, you know, so that's how I knew that I was finally reaching a point in my artwork where the practice, where the constant grinding was really beginning to pay off. You know, like I said, it's like you get some really, really janky results first. You know, you get some really janky results, but there comes a point where things start being less janky. You know? And I think that I'm, you know, it's like I kind of reached that with people, you know, with drawing humans. And I'm getting to that point with my backgrounds as well. So, you know, so yes, like I said, it's like, you know, so yes. And that's the thing. It's like, yeah, I'm not concerned about these people who all of a sudden want to say something stupid like requiring expertise is gatekeeping. Here's the thing. Yes, it is. Yes, requiring expertise is gatekeeping. You know, it's like if I want something, it's like if I want to hire somebody to do a variant cover, I'm not hiring some bullshit hack who can barely draw a straight line with a ruler. I want somebody with expertise. That's what I'm paying for. You know? You know, you know, it's yeah, I just find it really, that's like saying that it's, I don't know, would they say that about a doctor? Yeah, I guess they would. I mean, we just spent the last 2.5 years of people screaming that doctors have no expertise, that doctors don't know, because, you know, it's like, well, I read this thing, some guy making a video in his car said that this shit is fake. So what does the doctor know? It's like, yeah, okay, you know what? You can't argue with those people. You know? You know, I mean, you know, so, but the thing is, though, I think it's something a little bit deeper than that. I think that when it comes to a lot of the AI discussion, what it really, but the thing is, though, it's not necessarily just regulated to AI. It's like we see this a lot in publishing. Like I've been seeing this for decades, really. This is an attitude that I've been seeing for decades. That that they're people who have not one creative bone in their body, but they're so desperate to be creative, to be known as a creative. So the only thing they could do is kind of latch onto it, you know, and say, well, I produce comics, I make comics. So it's like, oh, I write comics, you know? And you know, and it's like and in the end it all boils down to, you know, but at the same time they're also desperate to make money too. So what it is, they make the most derivative crap that they can put together, that the best derivative crap money can buy, right? And then all of a sudden now they consider themselves comic book creators, right? Or creative. They sell an AI painting at a state fair, you know, and all of a sudden it's like they are so proud to now be a part, to say that they're a part of that community, when technically they're not. Because like I said, it's like, you know, okay, so what can you do without your computer? Oh, nothing. Okay, right, all right. Then no, you don't know what it's like. You know, so yeah, so in the end it's like these people are going to get, I think, like weeded out just as quickly. So let's see here. Yeah, I want good storytelling that does not involve identity politics. Well, that's a separate issue. Um oh. Yeah, I know, right? um well, you see, that's kind of the funny thing. I think that's what's happening there is that people are confusing media consumption with activism. And this has been happening for, like, especially in the last couple of years. Where it's like people feel like that they're so impotent, you know, so powerless everywhere else. The only thing that they feels like activism, that they're doing something, is by criticizing media, you know. And the thing is that companies have latched onto that. These billion-dollar corporations have latched onto it because what they've realized is that if they can feed into that false sense of activism, then they have a stand for life. You know, they have this person who they've completely wrapped their identity around this product, around, you know, and now it's like, well, if I don't consume this product, I'm not a good person, right? Conversely, they're going around saying that if you consume other types of products, that you're a bad person. So you kind of have like this weird, I mean, this really, really weird, terminally online thinking process that a lot of these publishing companies are confusing. Which is, it's kind of like goes both ways. They're confusing this really, really terminally online chicken cutlet thinking as an actual demographic to cater to. That's the funny thing about it. So you're talking about these people are depending on corporations to fulfill their sense of identity, a political identity, while at the same time these corporations think that these are This is a valid demographic to cater to. So that's kind of how you're seeing this mess in publishing right now. You know, in both like book publishing and in comics. And I think it goes hand in hand too with this adverse reaction against conflict in a story, like actual conflict, like, you know, the basis of storytelling in general. And there is actually a movement, because like I said, it's terminally online people claiming this is bigger than it really is, and the I guess the media executives at these companies are kind of taking it at face value. And where it's like that, to actually like put your characters through conflict is practically a war crime, that you can't do that. It's like, oh, how dare you treat your characters that way, you know, or blah blah blah. You know, the word that I fucking love so much. So what happens is that it's very, you know, so it's like, so if you want to like get in these particular mainstream roads, people are writing like these really milquetoast, like nothing stories, you know, where it's like, yeah, the big deal is that this character is gay. There's nothing else going on, but this character is a woman. This character is a person of color. You know, it's like, but there's nothing, the story says nothing else. The character does nothing else. That's the identity. That's it. You know, and somehow corporations are making people believe that this is all they need. You know, that this is all a story needs to be. It's kind of like the difference between, you know, like people who watch Lord of the Rings, people who say they enjoy Lord of the Rings, and people who say they enjoy Game of Thrones, you know, the House of the Dragon. And it's just really funny to see the difference between the two, where, now mind you, this is all conjecture and this is all opinion. You know, if you enjoy Lord of the Rings, that's fine. You know, I'm not saying otherwise. But the thing is, though, is that the Lord of the Rings show is so mealy and so, like, it's like high stakes and like it's so low stakes at the same time. Like, they're trying to make it like this grand story, but it's so low stakes. Everybody is, you know, everybody's able to solve it. It's like, you know, everybody is grand. You know, everybody, you know, is like, you know, Galadriel is, of course, you know, oh, she's the strong female character. You know, I mean, it's, you know, it's just kind of like, and the thing that I keep hearing that it is, that's boring as fuck. Because there's no real story to it. There's no real conflict in it. As opposed to Game of Thrones, as opposed to House of the Dragon. Holy shit. I got sucked into an episode the other night. And I was like, who are all these hot characters? And they are all fucking each other one way or another, literally and figuratively. And I might need to see this from the beginning. You know, it's a grimy show. You know, but it has so much character, so much conflict, so much stakes in it that it's like, you know, yeah, are the characters not likable? No, they're not. They're not supposed to. It really reminded me of watching I, Claudius, where it's like, you know, it's you know, you're following these, you know, you're following Augustus, you know, his family from Augustus to Nero. You know, I mean, it, you know, and it's like, and it's grimy
because everybody is doing what they need to do to survive. You know, it's like to survive in a situation where everybody wants you dead. You know? I mean, you're not going to come out a nice person from that. You know, it's like, and even if you are nice, you're not going to survive it. You know, I mean, you know, and that's, you know, and that's kind of like the vibe I got from House of Dragons. But of course, you have these chicken cutlets online saying that if you like House of Dragons, it means you're an awful person because you're enjoying watching a show about awful people. And I go, yes, because they're fucking fictional. You know, it's like, you know, yes, I am not concerned about watching American Psycho. You know, I mean, it's like, granted, the book, it's like, I love American Psycho as the book. I'm not crazy about the movie, although Christian Bale, perfect. Movie, not so much so. But it's really the book that I refer to. Whenever I mention American Psycho, I'm referring the book with Christian Bale as the character, you know? Yeah, the whole idea is that yes, I'm living vicariously through these characters. They're fictional. It's kind of like a mental roller coaster, you know? You know, and you know, people go on roller coasters. People who go on roller coasters doesn't mean they like being in car crashes and actual car crashes, okay? But that's what these assholes want to make it sound like. You know, that if you enjoy watching a show about a family of sociopaths trying to kill each other, that means you're a sociopath. It's like, no, it means I'm fucking watching a show. It means that I am enjoying a show. You know? And, you know, so the thing is, also, when you talk about, you know, so yeah, so when you're talking about, you know, I just want a story, I don't want identity politics. Right? It's like I understand what you're saying because it's like what we're seeing is a very cynical cash grab by corporations using personal identity as a superficial hook for consumers. That's all that is. They don't give a shit about you. Why do you think they only celebrate, you know, like all the rainbows disappear when June is over, right? It's like they don't give a shit. If they gave a shit, it's like you'd be finding these products year round, right? But no, it's like it's like from June 1st to June 30th or 30th. I don't know. Does June have 30? I think June has 30 days. That's it. That's it. I was like, this is the only time we support gay people, when you know we can squeeze the most money out of them. You know, you know, yeah, it's like that's. I mean, you see, what it is that it depends. You know, it's like, look, nasty characters are entertaining. You know, I mean, that's really all it boils down to. Do I actually want to be, you know, Patrick Bateman? Do I actually want to be Tyler Durden? You know, it's like, do I actually want a doctor that's fucking like House MD? Absolutely not. Like Gregory House? Absolutely not. I never want to meet Gregory House in person. You know? I mean, but they're fun. The attitude is fun. That's what I mean by like living vicariously. You know, because normal people cannot act like this. And that type, and it can only be entertaining in fiction. You know, that's the thing. You know, you do not want to meet Patrick Bateman in person. You know? You know, but he's fun in the book. But like fun, you know, being relative, of course. You know, so it's like, you know, but the thing is, though, it's like, so we have these people who think that, oh, well, if you enjoy Patrick Bateman, it must mean that you're a bad person. It's like, no, it means I enjoy a character. I enjoy the characterization. I enjoy his antics. You know, it's like I enjoy, it's like, yeah, it's like they're fictional. They're fictional, And the problem is, though, you see, and this is the thing. I'm not saying that a misunderstanding of these characters makes it okay too. Where it's like you do have the people who think that Tyler Durden is something, that should be emulated. It is a character that should be emulated. It's like, it's like there's certain fictional characters, I mean, it's like, look, it's like, what it is that because you're also, these people, what it is that they're flattening the conversation out so much that it forces me to be an absolutist, because I can't get through their thinking, and their thinking is kind of, it's like, look, yes, media can be used to be harmful. Media can be used as propaganda for certain things. I mean, even something as benign as, say, the idea of like wedding rings, right? I mean, it's like, it wasn't until the 40s, right, when De Beers really needed to create this fake market for a product that was essentially worthless. And they did it through movies, they did it through Hollywood, they created this whole, engagement ring propaganda thing. And then now it's like you have people thinking that engagement rings, oh, it's always been a tradition. And it's like, no, it's only been around since the 40s. I mean, it's 40s and 50s. It's like, it's like, it's like, that's the thing. It's like, we're not there. It's like the conversation that everything in media is black and white doesn't allow for nuance. And I think that that's kind of, I don't know, maybe that's deliberate, that they really don't want people discussing this, that they don't want people challenging this, because they've wrapped their personality so much into that. So, right, yeah. I mean, you see, that's the thing, and it's like, where they think that, oh, if a writer writes bad things, it means that the writer endorses them. Like, there was this joke before, there was this meme going around where someone put like Martin Scorsese, like they make it sound like you say, yes, it's like, I love mob people and I endorse all their murders. I mean, it's so stupid. I mean, but yeah, but like I said, this is corporations feeding into that, because it's like, I think that they thought that maybe that they could control a certain aspect of fan culture, and it kind of morphed into like this weird thing that we all now have to suffer through, And like I said, I think that it flattens out the conversation, that it's like, yeah, it's like, look, I'm not saying that media can't be used as propaganda, but that's not what they're talking about. I mean, it's like, they want to keep screaming about how all the Evangelion characters are 14, so stop drawing horny characters, horny pictures of them. And it's like, they're fictional characters. They don't exist. And this is also the thing too, where it's like they start treating people like real people, like fictional characters. There was this whole discourse where they were talking about, like I said, these terminally online chicken cutlets. We're pointing at real people and saying that if you're a grown man, it's like dating a short woman, it means you're a pedophile, because a short woman is coded as a child. And it's like, what the fuck are you talking about? It's like, I'm short. That's all it fucking is. It's like, I'm not coded anything. I'm a real person.
I'm not a fucking fanfic character. You know, coded is shit that's written. You know, it's like that's done for a fictional character, and you know, and it's like, but they're actually trying to translate that to real people, and it's like you you know what? It's like, I don't know how you guys are going to grow up and survive this shit. Like I don't know. It's like I really do hope they get to a point where they're turning 25, and then it's like they or 30, and then it's like they kind of like do like looking back on live journal shit, and then they're going, "Oh my god, I can't believe I wrote this. This is so stupid." You know, it's like I really do hope that eventually happens. Because it is just so, God, it just yeah, you know, I mean, yeah. You know, like we were talking, like there was a post the other day about villains, right? About the fact that, you know, like, oh, it seems like everybody needs a redemption arc. You know, that there's this need for all the villains to have a redemption. And it's like, and I told them, it's like, look, again, this is a cynical move by corporations who create this whole narrative of redemption arcs, i.e., everyone's in therapy, because they figured that these certain characters have become popular, so they need to soften them in order to make them more marketable. You know, it's kind of like, to use Kylo Ren as an example. I loved Kylo Ren in the first movie. Loved him in the second movie. Like, I could tell that was like the only character the writers actually liked. You know, because it's like, I mean, I was like going, that was a character that they were committed to making evil. And I really hoped that, you know, that would carry on with the rest of the series. I didn't see the last movie. And you know, but I heard that it's like, oh, it's like, you know, oh, they redeemed the character and this, that, and the other thing. And I go, what? There was no purpose to redeem that character. He killed his father. He murdered his father. What is there to redeem? He's an asshole. He's a genocidal maniac. You know, redeem him for what? So he could kiss the main character? So all the fanfic chicks, all the Raylos would rejoice? You know? It's like, no, part of his appeal was that he was an asshole. Why? Because he's a fictional character and he didn't need to be anything else but. You know? But, you know, but Disney was like going, oh, no. We can't have a popular character be this evil. You know, which is why, you know, and that's what it is. Like, me personally, it's like, look, not every villain deserves a redemption arc. Some characters are just assholes and that's it. You know, and that's what makes them appealing. You know, it's like I said, I'm watching House of the Dragons. It's like, do I give a shit if anyone redeems? No, I don't. Everybody is just doing what they need to do to survive the situation that they're in. There is no redemption for a lot of these characters. It's just, this is how they're living. You know? And the thing is, though, and you see, and the thing is, though, that there's usually this mistake where people, like, they think that, oh, as long as the character says he's sorry, that's redemption. And it's like, no, redemption is you actually change your behavior. But here's the thing. It's like, we're talking about they want redemption, but they still want the shitty behavior. Then that's not redemption. It's like, what it is that you want to feel good about yourself liking a particular character being an asshole. And it's like, no, own up to your shit. If you like a character for being an asshole, own up to it. Don't put in this, like, again, this whole morality thing where it's like, well, if I like this character, that means I'm a bad person. It's like, no, you're enjoying media. It's a neutral thing. You know, I mean, superficially, it's supposed to be neutral. Like I said, it's like, it's very, you can get into, it's like, you know, like, okay, yes, it's like, you know, media does get used, you know, to put forth like ideas that maybe it shouldn't, and blah, blah, blah. Like, you know, like there was this other cartoon that I saw where it's like, you know, in the 80s, how like every comedy was about how much the husband hated his wife. You know, the whole married with children thing. And it's like, and everyone's looking back on it. And it's like, you know, what really was funny about this show? You know, aside from the fact that why was Al Bundy always never wanted to bang Peggy? You know, everyone's saying it's like, you know, it's like, this is, you know, he's married to the hot chick, and it's like, and he's angry about it. What the fuck is that? It's like, look, that was the thing during the 80s. You know, the whole Rodney Dangerfield, take my wife, please. You know, was it him that said there was? I think there was like, you know, all the comedians at the time were doing that. Oh, you know, I hate my wife so much. Ah, that's all they have to say. You know, I mean, it's like, look, you know, that's, if there was ever, it's like that's a real conversation to have. Like, what the fuck was with that? You know, but you know, it's kind of like all these sitcom writers. It's like, look, bros, it's like, I'm really sorry that you're in shitty marriages, and you really, it's like, what you need to do is get a divorce, and, you know, not take it out on your viewing audience. But, you know, that's what that's what happened. Oh man, it's like, did I ever really go into the topic of the show? I was getting so distracted by a lot of things, you know, or it's like, you know, like a lot of different trains of thoughts, you know. I mean, yeah, it's like I said, it's the quiet lull between campaigns, just waiting for stuff to come in. And, you know, I'm kind of like, oh, I really should be, you know, I'm trying to distract myself with all the work that I have to do, but at the same time, I can't help but be like a numbers whore about how how I'm going to get my next campaign to perform. You know, and it's just like, ugh. You know, I mean, yeah, I think that, you know, when you start doing as many, when you do as many campaigns as I do, and it starts, let's see, thank you. So at least technically I'm always on topic no matter what, right? Let's see. I mean, yeah, exactly. You know, it's like, yeah, it just gets, yeah, it's like the more you, like, little things just get weirder and weirder. Like I think in like the 50s, like the shit was like women getting spanked all the time. Like, it's like, again, it's like, what the fuck was with that? You know, I mean, you know, like, you know, I mean, it's like, uh, what do you mean it looks gigantic? Like the nib is really thick? I mean, it's okay. You know, this is what is it? This is a 0.3. You know, I mean, you know, I mean, that's, I don't know. I mean, I have one that's larger that I'm going to, you know, go in. Um, you know, a larger pen that I'm going to go in with. You know, also, what it is too is that this piece is also kind of smaller too. Like, okay, so like this is usually what this is 11 by 17. I mean, it's kind of hard, you know, it takes up the entire screen, of course. You know, so this is 11 by 17, and this I think is 11 by 14 or something. So it's, so you have like this much, you have that much space, right there. Probably this one. I mean, it's just a pit pen. It's just a pit pen. It's like, I don't use like crow quills or anything like that, where it's like usually they have like the really long handles. I don't use that. I just use pens. It's just better control for me. Because also the thing is too that I learned this past week or so, especially with some of the proofs that I had to correct, is that doing a novel and doing a comic book, I have to design the covers differently. So with a novel like this one, with the novel, I have to be more kind of like square, while with a trade paperback for a comic, I can be more rectangle. So luckily with this one, I already set it up, according to the specs that I kind of mocked up for a novel. So, the cover is technically correct. But there was a proof that I had to fix where I had to extend it because I was trying to move a comic book cover to a different medium, and I didn't have enough bleed, essentially. So I had to extend it. So now when I do my future covers, I have to go in, like I finished the cover for volume 2, which comes at the end of next year. So I did it regular that I usually do on 11 by 17. And then I took it into Photoshop and then I extended it to 14 by 17. And then I extended the top and the bottom so that so I got that colored so that the piece, no matter which medium I moved it to, the image will still fit correctly. So, so that's, that was something that I learned this week, that it's like, that, especially if you're going to start to change formats, not medium, formats. It's like you have to really take that in consideration with your artwork, that what works in one format might not work in another. So with this piece, I don't have to worry about it because it's not for anything that'll be printed comic book size. It's going to be printed in a 6x9. So I guess to give you kind of like a comparison, so this is comic size, and this is the format, the 6x9 format that I'm going to be using with the novel, with the illustrated novel. And just to give you an idea, like this is kind of the format that I'm looking to do, aside from comics, just doing illustrated novels. So luckily, the piece that I used for this cover was able to translate to the different formats, so I didn't have to do anything for it. But I had to correct some proofs this week because of that. So yeah, Well, I mean, in the end, it's like I didn't get so we're almost at the top of the second hour. I really didn't get as much done as I would have liked. I kind of thought I would have inked in more, but you know how it is on these shows. It's like you know how it is. It's like this is more like a very casual, like kind of like you're seeing me at a convention type of thing. So I'm not. I really shouldn't be expecting to like actually finish. Like I'm not gonna run a 4-hour stream. It's like I see people do that, especially on Twitch, and I'm like going, oh my god, it's like this literally is a job for you. It's like, but they're working on screen. They just happen to be recording it and broadcasting it to everybody. So, it's not, but no, it's like, I need to, I can't really do that. So, okay, so this is pretty much as far as I'm going to get for today. I mean, after I get off the stream, granted, I'm going to probably continue more, at least try to finish this side of the cover. So here you go. So here, as you can see, so this is the difference. So this is what I start off with. I use, like I said, it's like I lay the basic ink down with my number 2 Rapidograph, and then I build up the inks with the thicker. Yes, exactly. Right. Yes, I inked in. Let's see. Yeah, with the novels, with the illustrated novels, I know that I'm going to have to like think differently for them as opposed to a comic, because I don't sign my comics. It's like, I don't know if anyone's ever noticed, but I don't sign my comics. But I know that with novels, especially illustrated novels, it's a little bit different. Like, so yeah, probably it's going to be like, there's going to be signed options, there's going to be like art plate, like, oh, like this is something that I'm playing around with too. So this is this is my kind of like my prototype for like a sketch plate. I know that signed book plates are kind of a thing, so I was thinking of playing around with the idea with sketchbook plates, and then like tipping them into the book or something. So like I said, it's like with illustrated novels, I know I have to think differently for it. Why don't I sign my comics? Because I personally don't like it. It's a personal thing. It's like I don't know. It's like I kind of like it doesn't really mean anything to me, and I've yet to have anybody really make an issue of it. Well, they haven't. Like I said, I don't think anyone's really noticed that I don't sign my stuff. Although the promo postcard, I think I usually sign these. I'm not. I don't remember. To tell you the truth, I don't remember. I think I usually do. So that, which reminds me that I have to sign the postcard, the promo postcard. But that's usually how you get my signature, but not on the actual book. Yeah, that's what I usually get to. It's like, like you know what it is. It's like, unless they're deliberately, specifically getting it slabbed, I don't think that most people really care. Do I sign the postcards? Yeah. Okay, there we go. So I signed the postcards. So yes, and of course the sketch covers are signed, of course. So yeah, it's just a personal thing. I mean, if it was, yeah, that's yeah. But like for novels, I know it's different. I know it's kind of like a different thing going on. So I would have to rethink a lot of things. Oh no! Right? Yes, of course. I mean, you know, um, I mean, honestly, if signed comics is something that you are interested in having me do, when you make your Kickstarter pledge, put it in the notes. I know that there's a section for notes as to like, so it's like, so if that's something, because I've had people do that. Where it's like they add, not only that, but they tell me specifically where to sign, like, oh, sign on the inside cover, sign on the first page, sign, like they want it signed but not on the cover, type of thing. So so for any Kickstarter, if you want anything signed by me, just put it in the notes and I will sign it. but as like kind of like a default thing, I don't do that. So so like I said, so here's the piece so far for the cover. And the thing is though too, here's a little trick, you know, that I decided to do on this cover too. So you see this tree right here in the center. So the prototype, kind of like the little prototype book that I did just to make, just to kind of get the measurements. Um, oh no, that would be Stanley. That would be Stanley. I know that his manager was actually, I mean, it was, I mean, really, it's like that guy deserved to, no, no. So, so I put it together using my first draft just so I can get the measurements, just so I can get the measurements down, so that I can get this cover. But the thing is, though, I know that depending on how the editing process works and how maybe the final formatting works, that I might have to make adjustments, especially to the spine. So what I did was I purposefully designed this cover so that the tree is the spine, so that if I needed to expand the spine somehow, all I have to do is add to this tree, and then I can adjust the cover without affecting the main and without affecting any of the main images for the cover. So I don't know. I thought I was being clever with that. So I don't know. I just thought I'd just share it. You know, it's you know, something stupid to end the show on for today. A very exciting show, I might add. Um, so okay, so there we go. Here's the piece so far. I'm going to be slowly working on it, you know, as I go along today. Um, you know, just to get it finished so I can get it scanned up and sent to the flatters tonight, so or tomorrow morning. You know, that's so yeah. So let me just shut this. Okay. Okay. And all right. So here we go. So yeah, so that's pretty much it. And here we are. So here we are at the a little past the second hour. And yeah, we had a very exciting day today. But you know, we had a lot of good conversation. We had a lot going on, a lot to talk about, and I'm very happy that everybody was here to do it. So yeah, so let's yeah, let me fix that. Let me fix that. Okay, so yeah, so there we have it. So here we are at the end of another um you know, at the end of another stream. Thank you so much. I am I see that Jose's blood, JD's blood is worth less than mine. I see. So no, we are not doing that. So here we are at the end of another stream. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. Like I said, it got exciting for a bit, but you know, it was all good. Um, you know, it was all, you know, in the end, it was all good. We got some work done and whatnot, had our, you know. So I would like to thank everybody in the comments, except for certain people. You suck. You know who you are, you know, but everybody else was beautiful. So thank you for being on the stream, for being in the chat, keeping me engaged. Thank you so much for spending these, you know, spending what you could, even if you couldn't stay the whole 2 hours. I would like to thank currently the 7 people who are watching right now from regions beyond. Thank you so much for joining. I hope you at least enjoyed listening if you weren't watching, or at least maybe you were working along and whatnot. You know, like I said, this is pretty much how it goes. It's like whatever topics people throw at me in the chat, that's what I talk about. You know. you know, so if there's something that that you would want me to talk about, just come on over to YouTube, join my, join my sexy chat right here, except for the people who suck. And yes, I would like to thank Nita and her magic broom and click finger for taking care of things. It's like, she has definitely earned her wrench today. So yeah, so here we go. So yeah. So if you want to see more about my work, and you want to learn more about me, my work, my upcoming crowdfunders, the whole thing, you can head on over to my main portfolio site at egoworks.com, EGOWRKS, where you can find links to all of my galleries and social media sites, but I mostly post to Facebook if you're into seeing sketches and current work in progress updates. And don't forget to check me out on YouTube on my channel at Daphne Lage, Lage Art, and which also simulcasts through the Indie Comics Network. So make sure that you like, subscribe, share, the whole 9 yards, whatever makes the algorithm God's happy. Like I said, hit the notification bell so that you get notified whenever I go live, or any of our shows on the Indie Comics Network goes live. And for the rest of the year, for those of you, for those of you who don't know, you can read the first 5 issues of EGORAVEN, Air the First Unicorn, in its original black and white format by around the first of 2023. I'm going to be taking that down and replacing it with the full color version to serialize on the website. So so if you're the type that likes to compare versions of stuff to see what changed and what didn't, between the original black and white version and what's being what's being canonized on Kickstarter, you have until the end of the year to check everything out, and then I'm going to be taking all that down and starting again with the color version. But if you prefer your fantasy to be more of a furry Lord of the Rings adventure, you can click the link to Tall Tales, TAILS online.com, and read the first 20 issues of Tall Tales for free. And don't forget to sign up on either of those pages, where you get, not only you get free comics, but you will get in your inbox directly updates on all my campaigns, all my projects, everything that's coming up, because we have a lot of campaigns coming up. So yes, if you don't want to miss anything, you really want to do that. So, and one last, gotta mention it one last time. Like I said, it's like this is all I'm going to be talking about. EGORAVEN, Air of the First Unicorn, issue 5, dropping November 7th on Kickstarter. The pre-launch page is up now. All the links are in the show notes below. Also, while you're at it, check out all of the live campaigns that I talked about at the beginning of the show. All those links are also in the show notes as well. But definitely make sure you sign up for EGORAVEN issue 5. There's going to be, that way you get notified when the second the campaign goes live, so you don't miss out on some limited edition goodies, on some, it's like, some limited time items. I'm probably going to have an early bird special. I know that you guys are not going to want to miss. So do that. So there we go. So thank you again for joining me. And I will see everybody Monday with Nita on the Rage Into the Vlogs show at 11 a.m. Like I said, we're not having a show on Friday because I have shit to do. And and we're going to resume our regular scheduled programming back on Monday. And I will, and if you're watching this, I will see you next Wednesday as well. So thank you so much again. And and I will see you next time. Stay tuned.
You really want to know my process?
Absolutely.
Usually starts with a holla and ends with a creamsicle.
And then if there's time in between, thunder.